everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury, and today, don't mind the aesthetic. It is hot. It is 95 degrees. There's a heat advisory, and the utility bills are so. I'm just dealing with it. But I'm performing this weekend, and I found out it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain. My performance is a fire performance, and also disclaimer, fire is dangerous. Don't try this at home. I'm not advocating for anyone to do it. I am not your teacher, all of those things. But they are looking to move the performance indoors, which means it's no longer a fire performance. So they reached out to us and they said, if you can toggle to LED, if you can toggle to another, like a silk prop, which is like where a silk fabric hangs off the prop. I was only partially prepared for this. Half of my act is LED, and then I was supposed to switch midway. It's not a silk prop. I don't have an LED version of a sword. I could just wield it as is, but where's the fun in that? So, very last minute, we are going to do some crafting. We're going to do some crafting to make this look more interesting on stage. So let me show you what I got. Let me show you what my plan is and how we're going to do this. So I went digging through my fabric stash, as one does when they are a crafter, because, we save everything. And I had this fake fur. I have a lot of it. There's a lot of it. This is left over from when I made Jadzia Dax's wedding dress. This was the sleeves. Then I have this fabric here, which is like this shiny kind of a situation going on. And this is left over from when I made a fire elemental costume. And then I found this, which is like a red spiderwebby kind of lace. And this is left over from a skirt I made. So I have all these fabrics and scraps that could work. So here is my concept, okay? This is the sword, right? What I want to do is cover the wick, right? So hang on, let me give you a better angle here. Here is the sword. What I want to do is make like a sheath of the fur, right? So I'm gonna make a tube of the fur that will cover the wick, right? Because it doesn't matter. It can come off. It's not going to be permanent. It's fine. But attached to the tube of the fur, I want to cut out flame-like wisp pattern pieces, not patterns, but pieces of these two fabrics that will flow off a little bit, like maybe to here. So as I'm swinging this around, it'll flow behind it. That is my general idea. This is last minute, no pattern, just spit luck and a prayer. Maybe a little duct tape, not really, using a sewing machine on this one. There are options. I could have used like fabric glue, but one, I don't want it to fall apart. Sometimes if it gets too warm, fabric glue can melt. But also the fur. Fur is difficult to glue because you want like the nap, like where it folds at the seam. You don't want the fur to stick out in weird directions, and you don't want the furs to bond to the other furs. You want this piece to, and it's hard to get the glue all the way through to get that piece to be the bonding piece. So we're going to use the sewing machine. But this is the plan. This is what I'm working on. No pattern. I'm freehanding everything. We're just doing it. We are just doing it because not a lot of time. Yeah. Weather's unpredictable. If I had the foresight ahead of time to plan for what if it rains, I would have done this a long time ago, but I did not. It's okay. We're gonna pull this together. We are gonna pull this together right now. if you could see it or not, but the back of the fur has like these kind of stripes built into it, so I'm using those as my cutting lines. So it measured to here, but I'm cutting here so that way I have seam allowance. And just gonna cut a nice big old piece. Okay, now I have my piece separated. Put my sword there, and I just sort of double check that I could roll it up, tuck it in, and I can. And it ends right here, so I'll trim it right there. Now there's a chance you might be asking yourself, Mercury, why have you had this much fabric for so long and done nothing with it? This is cool fabric. And you're right, it is cool fabric, but watch this, y'all. Watch this. This is the piece I just cut. It is a pain to clean up. This is why I don't like working with the furs. The faux furs make a big sheddy mess. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's worth it. Okay, so I got some of the fur sheddings cleaned up because, ooh, that's always a thing. So next up, I'm gonna cut these two fabrics into those wispy, flowy shapes. I have to figure out how far I want them to like stand off, but I want to basically have those all prepped so I could sew them directly into the fur. So that is the plan that I'm going with, because if I have to do it individually, like each flame, oh, it's gonna drive me up a wall. So I'm trying to do this as simply and as quickly as I can under the circumstances. So I'm gonna do like a row across, possibly a few layerings of different lengths. I'm not using a pattern. It's not going to replicate exactly because flames don't replicate exactly. This is designed to be sort of like organic and have movement and flow to it. So I'm gonna start. Usually it's measure twice, cut once, but not this time, y'all. Not this time. I have the fur piecing. Oh, see, it got everywhere. Just got everywhere. Okay. Anyway, so I have that. But this is going to wrap around, so that'll be like flush. So how far do I want these things to flow? Like this is too short. Maybe here, maybe here. And that way they trail like that. I think that looks good. Okay, I gotta play with this. Making progress, to the point that I think I got to get the sewing machine out. Actually, I got to pin these in place. Then I got to get the sewing machine out. But let me catch you up. So we know I had the fur. Then I cut all these like wispy flames, and this is what they look like. Let me put some individually, and so I'll like do that. And then there's like the lace ones, and they'll kind of go in between. And that way they'll just flow around like that. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to pin them to the fur and then sew it like a straight line across, and then I could flip it inside out, sew it so that the fur doesn't, have like a weird edge. And that should do it. This shouldn't be too bad. I'm saying that now, I'm putting it out to the universe. Things get weird when you sew the fur because sometimes it clogs up the machine, and I'm putting it out to the universe right now. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be smooth sailing, no gummy machine with the fur, and I want this to be easy and smooth, and that's it. And that's my story, and I'm standing with it. Let me pin these into place and sew them together. Here is the progress update. So these are just pinned. So next step will be to sew them. But essentially, there are all these little like flame licks. Look at that. Yeah. So the idea is that these will be on one side and they will flow as I swing the sword around. Yeah, y'all. I'm sewing sitting on the floor. This is always interesting. If you've been around, you've seen me do this before. My kitchen table is a little chaotic right now, and this is just the faster, easier way for me to do this at the moment. I also always sew with safety goggles. There was one time I was sewing and there was a pin still in the fabric and I didn't see it and it went bing, and ever since then, just out of an abundance of caution, I just picked these up at like the hardware store. So I'm gonna just sew straight down the line, get the flames into place. And then once those are in place, I'm going to fold it in half, first side to first side, and close it up like a tube, and then invert it, and it should fit on the sword. That is the plan and the hope, and that is what we are going for. Let's see if the plan works out. I have my tube, okay? So basically, I put the stitching in, I attached all the flames, I folded it in half, and I made the tube. Now is the moment of truth. Now I have to invert it and hope that while I was sewing, none of the flames got caught in the seam. And I did my best to poke them down and away from where I was pinning. But because of the nature of tube, there's no way to know till I invert it. So here's hoping. Here's hoping. Sometimes I'll get like a stick or something, but this is, I'm gonna start out, see if my thumbs are enough to do this. But I might need a poking implement, because it's getting stuck. And I don't want to pull on them and rip any of them, especially because I have lace as some of them. Okay, we'll start small. We'll start with this. See if this helps. Yeah, it helps, but I have to brace it on my leg. So I'm trying to show y'all, but I need the tension. Okay, I'm gonna keep working this through. Basically I have like a stick and I'm just kind of pushing the fabric along. So I'm gonna keep working this through. I will show you when I have it all flipped. Okay, we're coming down to the end and I'm at the point where I could just sort of gently pull it little by little and get this to pop out. We're almost there. We're there. Okay. Moment of truth. Did I catch any of them? No. I didn't. Yes! Victory! Victory is mine. And the last bit, does it fit? Does it fit, y'all? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Let me show you. Okay, y'all. All this chaos is still here on the floor, but so now I can ooh, that I'm glad I tested that. Okay, we have to put a rubber band at the bottom of it. The rubber band at the bottom of it. Because this, I still have the sewing machine out, but this is one of the moves that I was gonna do. And it started sliding off as I'm spinning. So you're going to have to put some sort of a band at the bottom, which is just here. And because of, you know, the nature of this is performance. No one's looking up close at this. It's just to, you know, have effect as I'm spinning, since I can't have the real thing due to weather. But all in all, I think it gets the job done. So awesome. I am all set for my performance. So I guess with that, I am done for the day. I will see you all real soon. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.